Welcome back to today's episode of 30 Things That Suck. Today is day 3. Today we're going to talk about how it sucks to be a Browns fan. For those who don't know, some of you from the UK, so I got to explain some of the background here. The National Football League was formed in 1920 by George Halas and a couple other guys. The modern version of the National Football League came into existence around the 60s or so. The Browns were founded in the year 1946. Okay. It's before a lot of us were born. A lot of us weren't born in 46. There might be, I don't think there's one person who follows us who was born in 46. Shows you how old the Browns are. They go back quite a ways. They started in the old All-American Football Conference. It was a league with about 8 teams or so. The Browns dominated that league from 1946 to about 1950. Then, in 1950, the AAFC closed. The Browns were merged in the NFL with a couple other teams. First year in the National Football League, the Browns won the Super Bowl, or won the championship, I should say, in 1950. First year in the league. They were expected to do nothing, and they won the freaking championship first year. Otto Graham and those guys, they dominated in the 50s. And our last championship was 1964. I have the ring from that because we hold on to the past here in Cleveland. So if you ever see me with a ring, that's what it is. Then in 1964 was the last time they won a championship. Now it's 2022. So I got to give you some further history in the NFL before we go on that. There was another competing league in the 60s called the AFL, All-American, or just the American Football League. And then in 1970, they merged, or 1967, they merged with the NFL. That's when the first Super Bowl happened. It was Green Bay versus Kansas City. The Browns have never been to a Super Bowl in all them time since the Super Bowl started. We've never even been there. Not even, playing it. We just haven't been there. Let me say some people hi in the chat. CB, what's up, my man? He says, we love the suffering. We'll get into that in a second. We do love pain. We have had a lot of bad quarterbacks, a lot. We'll get into some of the quarterbacks in a little bit. Thomas, what's up? What's up? Serge, how you doing, buddy? Mick's in the house. Cheers, brother. What an eventful day. Yeah, it's chilling. Robert, how you doing, bud? It's a crazy day out there, man. I just mailed a couple packages out. I mailed to Liam and Matt J. Both got packages. All in the party. Laz, what's up, buddy? He says, no, Liverpool's looking possibly to come back. Wigwam Workshop, what's up? So in 1867, the Browns were in a new form league. And what happened was the guy who owned the team at the time, the guy who founded the team, Paul Brown, he was in financial trouble, so he had to sell the team to a guy called Art Modell. Now, Art Modell is a sordid character in American history. He started out, with good intentions. And what happened to Art was that he didn't have any other side business at practices. Like the Browns were his only team. And the NFL kind of outgrew the single owner family thing. You really need to have another business, So he didn't have that. And but this is before the TV contracts really kicked in the 90s, 80s and 90s. And Art would just go out of his way. I mean, I got to say this about Art he was a good philanthropist. He wanted his people to do, but his heart was too big. He would just give so much money to these people. I say these people, the players. It was like the players were running hard times. He'd give money, and all the contracts were coming out of his pocket. So he had no choice but to move the team. And now the team actually moved in 1995. Now, the way he went about that was kind of shitty, I would say, because he never said, hey, I'm going to move the team. He just moved it. If he would have came at the city of Cleveland with, hey, we'll keep the team here if you do, if you do this and that, then we would have probably done it. But he just moved it, and that's where the resentment starts. But Ravens aside, okay, guys, the Browns moved to Baltimore in '95 and became the Ravens, and then we got an expansion team in 1999. Now that's where the suffering kind of fucked. And I started following the Browns in the 80s. Now, as you guys know, I'm 45. I was born in 76, so I didn't really remember much when I was younger. I first remember like 83, 84. The Browns had this guy named Paul McDonald. And then in 85, we drafted Bernie Kosar. That was a fun run in the 80s. Obviously, we didn't make it to the Super Bowl. We made it to a couple championship games, but it was really fun. And then in the 90s, once they traded Bernie, and they looked like they were going to go on a little run there in 93, 94. And then obviously the rumors of the team moving, and then the team did moving, just fucked that all up. And then we had 3 years, man. 3 years of no football team. And, man, it was formative years of my life, dude. I was 19 when the Browns, or 18 or 19 when the Browns moved. I was going to basic training for their service, for the Air Force. And, man, there was no team there. And there was rumors, because, like, that was back before. They had the internet, but it wasn't, like, maybe a dial-up computer at the back of the base. But we were just getting info third hand from, like, newspapers and shit like that. And imagine, like, I'll put this in perspective for some of you England guys. Imagine, like, Liverpool or Leeds or fucking Arsenal is going to move. And they're moving, but you don't have any information, and you're fucking 5 countries away. And you're just trying to, that's how it was for me, basically. I had no clue what they're doing. They're playing the last games. Like, I shipped out to basic. I went to 2 games that year in 95 with my buddy Don's uncle, Gary. We went to the one, I can't remember the first one, but we went to the last game before they moved. Remember, it was the last game after they announced they moved. And what happened at the stadium then, they blacked out all the signs. Like, it was so eerie. It was like playing football in a video game that was glitching. There was no advertisements, no nothing. But like I was shipped out to basic training like November 95, and they still hadn't finalized it. And it was still going, because there was rumors like we're going to get the Buccaneers to come up here, the rumors of expansion team. So like later in that year, they announced the expansion team thing. And dude, the Chiefs were, we get some other people hanging out. Robin, what's up? What's up? Chilling. JV, my man. Chilling. Liam, the 2 is whatever. What's up, brother? Just holler at Liam on Messenger. Yeah, so they moved in 95, or then we got the team back in 99, and it was so bad the way we got the team back. For one, they should have built a dome here, but they didn't. But they made the mistake of building a stadium in the old stadium site, which is right next to the lake. It's so cold there. And they built a stadium so quick, too. That stadium wasn't built well. I mean, the sight lines are okay, I guess, but like it doesn't protect you from any weather. I mean, if you're going to get tickets to a Browns game, make sure it's on the south side of the stadium so you can stay a little colder, because you're out in that sun in September, man, it's fucking boiling. And in the wintertime, it's just the rain and stuff is just so ridiculous. But like, let's get back to 99 when they came to the expansion team. There was this guy named Al Lerner who got the Browns. He was a Marine vet, and his claim to fame, how he rose up to money, was he has a credit card company, and MBNA, if you ever remember MBNA credit cards, that was Al Lerner. And he ran a garbage company for a while, I think. But he had enough money to buy the expansion Browns, so he paid the fee, and then they moved the team in. And the way we did it, man, we had an expansion draft, and we got the dregs of the league, dude. And we hired some guys, but man, we were so bad that 99 year, and we had incompetent people in there. Let's be real. They were trying to throw money at the problem, and they had guys like Carmen Policy, who was on the last legs of his career. Dwight Clark was hired. I mean, it was nice guys in theory, but they had no clue what they were doing. They were in over their heads in a city like Cleveland. And then they came in with the draft, the expansion draft. In their first year, we went 2-14, and that just spiraled down, man. We were 3-13 the second year. Then the third year, we actually think we made the playoffs because the old man was going to die. 2001, he was getting real ill, and then he did die the next year. So they spent a little bit of money to try to bump it up. But then what happened was the team obviously transferred over to his son, Randy Lerner. And Randy Lerner did not want anything to do with Cleveland. He's not from this area. He lived in New York. He just come visit. And he had a soccer team. This is where there's a Premier League team called Aston Villa that he used to own. And he would spend more time with that soccer team, more attention to that soccer team than he ever did with the Browns, bro. And this is like 2003, 4, 5, 6 or so. And he just would try throwing money at the Browns just to get it to go away. He hired this guy named Mike Holmgren. And Mike Holmgren was a coach. He was a general manager for like the Seahawks and the Packers, and he did a really good job. I think he took the Packers to the Super Bowl, all them rosters of the Packers and Brett Favre in the 90s. That was his doing. And he would literally come here and just collect a paycheck. He would clock in, sit there all day, fuck around, and clock out and go home. He never did anything for the Browns. And the ownership didn't care. And this is when Chatty was talking earlier about the quarterbacks. This is where we had all these fucking quarterbacks going back years. It was horrible. We had guys that, they would never sign the big guy. Tim Couch was okay, but there was always a quarterback that we should have gotten. We never did, man. And then finally, when Lerner sold the team, he sold it to an even worse guy. Lerner didn't care. Randy Lerner didn't care, but at least he wasn't corrupt. This new guy we got owning the team, Jimmy Haslam, he's just garbage. He's just so bad. They sold him the team, and I don't think it's 2010, 2011, something like that. And man, Jed York is buying Leeds. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm not too big on American guys buying the Premier League teams. I think that should be restricted. But I mean, I guess they're gonna do whatever they can for the money. It's international now. But I mean, like we said with Randy Lerner and Aston Villa earlier, they put so much attention to the but there's guys over here that are really fascinated with Premier League. I know like LeBron's a really big Premier League fan. All those guys, they do follow it. They really do. The bigger guys, athletes I'm talking. And so they're fascinated with it. So obviously they want some of that glory. You could buy into that, with this American money and shit like that. But I don't really dig it. They need to keep that money over there and keep the money over here, et cetera. But they're never going to do it because, if you got $5 billion, what are you going to do? Oh, we're buying no soccer team. Oh, it's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, so when they sold the team to this Jimmy Haslam, his dad, he made money on the trucking industry. But what he would do, he would fraud the truckers, bro. There was like a rebate program they would have. They'd pull up and get gas, and there'd be a rebate program, and he would defraud all these small companies. He got convicted of it. Type in Jimmy Haslam, conviction, and he had and like any rich millionaire, he just bought it out. The Glazers, the Glazers got the Bucks. Isn't it Tampa Bay and United? I think, Man United. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that's what it is. JB, hell yeah. But yeah, so once Haslam got the team, he's from Tennessee. He doesn't like it up here either. I mean, the conspiracy theorist says he used to be a Steelers fan. Why is he buying the Browns? And a lot of people say that, he tanked the Browns so the Steelers could get better. I mean, look at the Browns since they came in, man, or since he hasn't bought the team. He tried, this and that the first couple of years, 2012 and 13. And then in 2016, I think he decided to tank. There was active tanking going on. They went 0-16 that year. They lost every single game. Or the first year, they went 1-15. And the second year, they went 0-16. So 2 years, they only won one game. I watched every one of those games. Every one of those games. You couldn't tell me they weren't tanking because they take to get better draft picks. So the theory would be you get a better draft pick, you could have, your star quarterback and whatever. And it didn't really work. It just lost so many fans, man. The guy, I'm in Browns groups, and everybody in there is over 40. I mean, there's no young guys. They lost a young generation, man. Because it's so suffering. But you think there's possibilities of suffering that can't. And then every week there's something else. Every week. Like, I mean, we can relive the suffering, but like back in 1980, the Browns were in the playoffs. They're driving down. It was cold as fuck out. I was really young, so I don't remember this, but I've seen the replay many times. And the Browns, they could have kicked a field goal, won the game, but they decided to go for it because they thought it was too cold. And they called a play called Red Right 88. And Brian Sipe dropped back, and he threw the ball in the back of the end zone and got picked off. And the Browns did not go to the championship game that round. That was a great year for Browns football because Brian Sipe was the MVP. They were called the cardiac kids because they called the cardiac arrest every time they fucking get down because he made the game so exciting. And that was the first starting of the curse, man, right there. And then there's a couple years of just mediocre football. And then in 1986, you want to talk about suffering, bro. But the Chatty and a couple of guys on the chat know about the drive. Boy, I'll set the scene, man. I mean, we relived this a couple times, but if I'm talking about a show about suffering, we got to suffer and talk about it. So the Browns were up by 10 points, and they kicked the ball to the 2-yard line of the Broncos. That means there's 100 yards in the field. So that means you got to go 198 yards for a touchdown in 5 minutes. In the NFL, that's really hard. And he did it. And then we got the ball back. They kicked the field goal and then went in overtime. Then they won the game in overtime. I mean, there's people to this day still ain't gotten over that. They really haven't. That was some excruciating shit to go through. And then the next year, we're in Denver. Same style game. The Browns, fuck up the first half, but they come back strong in the second half. We're driving. We're down 38-33, and they hand the ball off to Ernest Biner. And he cuts this way, and he fumbles it right at the goal line. If he would have won the end zone, we would have won that game and went to the Super Bowl. We probably would have won the Super Bowl that year. And we didn't. And it really sucked. Then we lost again in 88, and then obviously, or 89, we lost the championship game. And obviously, we just talked about the Browns moving. And I mean, you could think of so many different suffering over the years. There was a game in 2001 where they reversed a play after the play stopped, which was illegal. And we were just pissed. And we started throwing bottles everywhere. I was at that game. It was called Bottlegate. And that Bottlegate's a synopsis of just the rage and ire that we've had as Browns fans over the past, since 64, really, 54, 55 years, whatever now. And that's a long time. And that's almost as long as England's drought in the fucking Euros. Think about that. I know you guys are, a lot of you guys from England, and the Euros are suffering, bro. It's, imagine that. That's the same kind of suffering. You guys at least been to the championship. We ain't even been there. 1964 is the last time they were in a championship. It's so fucking incomprehensible. So yeah, they tried. I mean, they tried getting some quarterbacks in, over the years since we got back. That's been the main issue with the Browns is that we haven't had that quarterback. We haven't had really. This is Bernie Kosar, and Bernie's was decent, but I mean, if you look at his stat lines, he was nothing like some of the other ones. But I mean, that was a different time, obviously. But after Bernie, 99, we had Tim Couch. He worked out okay for a couple of years, and then when he went down for a little bit, there was this guy named Kelly Holcomb. He came in, he beat him out in 2002, so that was the end of the Tim Couch era. And then Kelly Holcomb only lasted a year or two. Then they drafted, Charlie Fry. They had Jake DeLome in there, Trent Dilfer, Seneca Wallace. I mean, they threw everything at the kitchen sink at that, and they would never draft a guy. The only number one they did was Tim Couch, and then that sucked, and they didn't really ever make that first pick, the quarterback. They missed. I mean, think all the guys have been drafted since fucking 99 who could have had. I mean, Brady notwithstanding, any team could have Brady, but the wild thing about Tom Brady is that the Browns drafted the quarterback one pick after that. This guy named Spurgeon Wynn. Brady was like pick 199, Spurgeon was 200. So we could have Brady just like, ugh. And we would probably fuck him up too. That's the thing with Tim Couch too. They brought Tim Couch in, but they gave him a line, and the line just sucked. They didn't block for him at all. He did not block for him. They just fucking, they just let him get sacked all the time. I know some of you might be getting bored with the talk of this nonstop complaining about the Browns, but let me go back and watch my Browns video. They find a new way to lose and fuck up the shit every year. It's like, I equate it like this, man. Say you had a grandma and she died. And say that grandma came back to life, and then she died a different day every single week. And you had to go through all the trauma of the different ways your grandma dying, like in a Truman Day style, fucking Groundhog Day style fucking synopsis of horror. That's the equivalent of being a Browns fan. It's like losing a grandma every week. And then the offseason's like losing a brother or a fucking parent every week. It's just so debilitating. I mean, think about this last offseason, bro. Like 2020, we went to the playoff games. We had Super Bowl aspirations. So we come into 2021 like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then in like week 3, Baker gets hurt. They don't get surgery. He struggles through the thing. So that just sours him in the fan base. Then by the end of the year, fans are done with Baker because he can't barely fucking move and he should have had the goddamn surgery. Then the offseason, they going, oh, yeah, Baker's going to be our guy. Whole time, Baker's going to be our guy. We're sticking with Baker. Baker, he's what's going to be the guy who's going to be in there. And then out of fucking nowhere, they throw $230 million at Deshaun Watson, like blindfolded. Like I read reports, Browns are out. I read multiple fucking reports from very reliable sources that said Browns are out of the Deshaun Watson's case. So I'm like, okay, let's roll with Baker. And 3 days later, boom, $230 million guaranteed for Deshaun Watson. And this whole offseason has been ridiculous with Deshaun Watson. It's been fucking crazy. Every day there's a new case coming up. It's fucking horrible. Yeah, I honestly I don't know too much. I mean, I know about Premier League, but I know the transfers and all that, but I don't, it's hard to, I mean, like a lot of you guys are probably, the English guys are probably sitting there like me talking American football is just, yapping in your ear because you don't know. That's the way it is. I mean, we have to figure out certain things about this stuff. I mean, I think there's 20 teams in Premier League, something like that, maybe 25. I don't know. But the NFL is it's wild, man. I think there's so much shit going on right now with, just in Congress. I don't know what they're gonna do with Dan Snyder. Dan Snyder owns the football team called the Washington Commanders. It used to be called the Washington Football Team, and before that, they were called the Redskins. And he's done some wild shit, man, and some accusations. I don't know how they're gonna combine that with, and levy punishments for Deshaun too. At the same time, I don't know, man. Cody, what up, buddy? Yeah, so it's like Browns, and there were so many years, just every year over year, you just get hope. Every year they made a whole movie out of the Browns, movie called Draft Day, which, by the way, in hindsight, is not a good movie. Draft Day sucks. It is overproduced schmaltz. It's just basically an NFL infomercial. This shit made no sense. I mean, looking back at Draft Day, and the guy traded 3 first-round picks for a guy who's going to draft anyways. This shit made no sense. That guy would have been fired tomorrow. Sports are things that people play in an arena and get paid for. Wow, look at this. $1 billion for a guy. Oh, no problem. Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you guys want to talk Premier League in the chat, I got no problem with it. I mean, if I was watching, Mick or Doof do a stream and, they were talking about someone else just there, I'd probably, bring up titties in the chat or something like that. No problem with that. But with jersey, this is made me think of this because I was looking at Brown's hat I had over there. Like the jerseys too, man. I like wearing jerseys. I love sports jerseys, as you could tell. Jason, what up? What up? I get a new Browns jersey pretty much every year. I just get them from China, man. There's this place called DH Gate. It direct ships from China. And sometimes it's a little off and the numbers might be here or there. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, it's a fucking $20 or $30. And they're already making the regular jerseys over in China. Look at any jersey you buy that's official. It's all made in China. If they're made in the States or whatever, it'd be a different story. But I mean, I'm not going to give – it's basically just me giving Nike $80 out of my pocket is the equivalent of me buying an official jersey. Like, why the fuck would I give Nike money when I can just get it for a lot cheaper? I mean, it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I probably got like fucking 50 Browns jerseys. Maybe not 50. It's a low exaggeration. There's probably at least 20 jerseys. I got a lot of Browns jerseys. All total jerseys, I probably got about 50 or more. Hats, I got about 100. I got so many fucking hats, man. I love it. But it just sucks. I mean, it's the only way to describe being a Browns fan. It might be the worst thing out of everything that I was picked with. You know what I mean? Like, I have a good family, good life, good YouTube, good job, everything. But man, for sports, not even just the Browns, just being a Cleveland fan in general, but especially the Browns, it's been utter torture. Utter fucking torture. Imagine your team moves. Imagine they moved fucking Liverpool to like Dublin or something. And they said, oh, just deal with it. And then they get a new team in there that comes in that's total garbage. That's the equivalent of something like this. You know what I mean? Totally out of the way. They don't even care. Millions of dollars. And they publicly finance these stadiums too, man. These guys are worth billions. Why can't they fucking pay for it? I tried, bro. They didn't return my fucking message, man. I messaged those guys. I tagged them. I don't know. I might have to message them on IG, bro. If any of you guys knows them, hit them up, man. I think I'll have to. Let me do that right now, actually. Because that was a really cool band, man. I liked them. There was for one of those wondering what Mick's talking about. There's this band from England called the Skins, and they played me and Lep were at a Flog and Molly show, and they played it, and they said it was their first time in the States post-pandemic. All right, here go the Skins. Did I message them? I got to see here. Oh, I haven't actually. All right, let me do that right now. They did that in 95, actually. You know, the interesting thing, Sharky, is that was the second team named the Browns to move to Baltimore and change their name. A lot of people were way young to remember this, but back in the 50s, there was a team called an American League baseball team called the St. Louis Browns. And they moved to Baltimore and became the Orioles. So isn't that wild? They had two different teams named the Browns, moved to the city and changed the name in two different sports. Yeah, St. Louis they used to have two major league teams. Isn't that wild? St. Louis is a small city, bro. St. Louis is smaller than Cleveland. It really is. The Cardinals, it's always been a Cardinals town, obviously. They are not moving to Baltimore again. They are not. No, Mayweather's not. I'm just happen to have this shirt right now. I think it's the same shirt I had yesterday. I'm fucking lazy. I haven't taken a bath yet, but Mayweather would last like 2 seconds in the NFL. It was way too small. But yeah, the new team will never leave. They're never. Well, what a lot of people don't realize too is that they passed a law in the state of Ohio to where now if any team tries leaving, they have to put it up for sale to a local owner first before they move it. And now this law hasn't been tested yet, but that's the theory. To keep the team there. Yeah, the Vikings are okay. I remember the Vikings with Randy Moss. That 1980s Vikings team was fucking amazing. Or 1990s Vikings team was amazing. Nice. Oh, your dad probably remembers those games, Shark. He was old enough to remember that. He's over 70. He probably went to the old Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. That's cool, man. Dude, there's this baseball pictures group. I never get sidetracked about the Browns, but they would show like pictures of Abbott's Field and the old. I love old baseball stadiums, man. It's shit's fun as hell. When I was in New York. We went to see where the New York Giants used to play, and it's only a plaque now. It's all like housing units and shit. But there's still a plaque. There's a tiny little plaque. I got a picture on my Facebook as well. Bull hockey. Yes, I did. Man. It was the exact same colors as the Cleveland Browns. This is wild stuff. Actually, I don't think I had a Browns hat. I got a Cardinals hat over there, but I think I almost bought a St. Louis Browns hat. But that'd be too confusing to people. Like, oh, what are the Cleveland Browns moving to St. Louis? They ain't doing that shit. Yeah, the hockey finals tonight, guys. It's Blake TV guaranteed that the Avalanche is going to win. So Blake guaranteed that the Avalanche is going to win. He said that the other day. He's like, bro, I'm betting my entire house and everything I own on the Avalanche. So if you're a betting man, bet the Avalanche tonight. They're probably going to win that shit. Yeah, the 49ers forever. I like the 49ers back. I used to have a 49ers hat back in the day. I love Jerry Rice, man. I had a Jerry Rice poster. I was all in on Jerry Rice. What a great football player. Jerry Rice was the shit, man. He played so long, too. He's like the only player to play into the 40s. Like the only wide receiver to catch a pass in the 40s. Isn't that wild? I looked that stat up once. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Because the stat was, it was when Tom Brady caught a pass like on a trick play and shit. And they're like, he's the only player besides Jerry Rice. And I was like, wait a minute. Only player? Yep, sure enough, there was only like 2 guys over 40 who ever caught a touchdown pass. Yeah, the Raiders in the 90s were crazy. Well, that was around the NWA era with Dr. Dre and, you know, the Fuck the Police songs and all that. They came out with the Raider stuff and Ice Cube and all that would have that. That was popular. The 49ers this year are kind of in wait, what did they do? I don't remember now. They had Jimmy Garoppolo, but he got hurt. And I think Trey Lance is going to start. So they might do something this year. That division they're in is hard, man. Dude, the world's going to explode when the Browns in the Super Bowl, man. I mean, this year, we're getting here to the end, but like to explain this year how doubly it sucks. This has been the worst offseason as a Browns fan ever. And that may even include I can't say that because that 95 one when they were moving was bad. But beyond the moving ones, this has easily been when the team's here, this has been the worst offseason ever with the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I just can't. I'm so done with this news. Just tell me how long he's going to be suspended to start the fucking season. I can't deal with any more fucking Deshaun Watson news. Like they just break all these random details on Twitter and then, you know, it's like talking about, you know, it's like constantly bringing up your dead mom or something. It's just so annoying. I can't stand Deshaun Watson talk anymore. I love Deshaun Watson. Go out there and play football. Have some fun. Let's do it. But in terms of the talk, yeah, it's not happening, man. Robin's in the house. Hell yeah. Robin's driving around, chilling. Yeah, so man, it's we got tickets to this year games. If you guys want to collab and stuff, we're gonna be down in the opening game. We'll go down North Carolina. We're meeting with B Wizzle, Brandon. We're gonna meet down in Charlotte for that game, and obviously all the home games will have tickets too. Yeah, but Garoppolo's elbow is done. I think it really is. I don't think Garoppolo's gonna come back the way he does. It's the old Larry the Cable Guy joke. Take the Browns to the Super Bowl. I know. The team's named after. For those of you who don't know, the team's named after original owner and founder of the team, Paul Brown, who in 1946. And the cool thing about that was with Paul Brown, he followed all those guys from Massillon High School to Ohio State to the Browns. So like there was a core group back then. They went to the same high school, same college, and same pro team. It was wild. You look up guys like Dante Lavelli, Lou Groza, all them guys went to Massillon High School, then Ohio State, and then the pros. They do actually. I think it's up here, man. If you can get up here, dude, come on up, man. We'll go to the fucking Browns game. I think. Let me check the Browns schedule this year. Hold on. 2022 Browns schedule. All right. By the time the season starts, I always have this shit memorized. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's in New Orleans because that would have been on the road trip option list, and I don't remember looking up New Orleans at all. Okay. Oh, Christmas Eve we play the Saints. Nice. So that's going to make. I'm sure you can't come up here on Christmas Eve. Man, that sucks. Another game on Christmas Eve. Fuck. Oh, well. Let's take one of them. Well, I mean, the regular guy. It's going to be so cold. I know it. I can already see it. Fucking snow, wind, and rain. I hate it. The weather's so bad. We need a dome so bad. If you're out there and you're in the Browns ownership and you're in management making capacity, we want one thing. We want a dome. Dome, because it's like that stadium's just so bad. It's bad, man. It's not a good stadium. I don't like it. And it started too, because like when they first started the stadium, when they first opened up again, they're like, oh, they hired Lou Merletti. He was the guy who used to be head of Secret Service in the United States of America. Secret Service, the people that protect the president, that kind of shit. They hired that guy to run security. And they have a snitch line you can text unruly fan behavior. Like that kills the vibe, man. If you got some guy, oh, you can't cheer. Hey, you over there, he's cheering. Yeah, fuck you. It's a football game. It's blood. It's life and death for a lot of us. We want to be able to cheer and swear. And just because your little fucking snub-nosed 8-year-old can't deal with the word fuckity fuck doesn't mean I'm going to not enjoy my goddamn time at the Browns game. That's why, it's, people look at you and you swear, whatever, man. I mean, look at me. Look at the Browns. They haven't fucking done nothing. What do you want me to say? If the team was doing good, I wouldn't have to fucking swear. Damn it. All right, so tomorrow's topic. Not yet. They denied the appeal, and I got to wait 30 days. So This is why I'm doing 30 days of things that suck every single day. We're doing another one. So tomorrow's topic is going to be road construction. How much road construction sucks, so don't miss it. I think it's not going to be exactly at 12. Might go a little early, but just follow me on the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Or actually, no, what? Tonight at 4:30, we're doing the regular show at 4:30 today. So in about 3.5 hours, we're going to have Dino, the genetic marvel from Canada, on. He's going to be on. So join us then. It'll be a fun time. We'll probably go a couple hours. So we'll see you in a couple hours, and obviously tomorrow, guys. Talk to you later, bro.